What's good, everybody? It is Wednesday, October 4th, 2023. This is your daily sports betting brand of record. We like to call it the Early Edge. We are powered, as always, by the almighty SportsLine, the best value in all sports betting, and it's not even close. All of the odds on the Early Edge presented by the king of all sports books, BetMGM. Now, a little housekeeping before we get to a very busy day at the brand. And my man, the sniper, yesterday coming through strong, getting that fourth Phillies run in the bottom of the eighth. Bo Bichette, Trey Turner, let's go. Mikey B correctly calling Jordan Montgomery. What do we always say? Just win? Sometimes just a little bit more than you lose. We did that yesterday, winning a little bit of that juice, 4 and 3. Now, today, I just mentioned a busy day at the brand. We have absolutely no time to waste. Let's bring in the stars of the show. You know them. You love them, and it's an embarrassment of riches. Are you kidding me? The maestro is here. The counselor is here. And making his playoff debut, Amags is here. But ladies and gentlemen, equally as important, a full day of Champions League soccer today. And I know we're focusing a lot on baseball, a lot on football, but the guru, Martin W. Green, just because I feel generous, you get our 15 seconds today. Lead us off.
Thank you very much, Coach. We have a very busy day in Europe's top soccer competition. Lots of very big teams are in action. We've got Manchester City, Barcelona, Paris Saint-Germain, Atletico Madrid, AC Milan, Borussia Dortmund. An embarrassment of riches on this show, but an embarrassment of riches on the pitch too. So lots of great games to look forward to. And I'll be breaking down a couple of them for you guys later on in the show.
We'll have a very special dog of the day, Champions League style. By the way, the mentor is on the show. The mentee is in the chat. My man, Buckets, you have any questions on the Champions League, put them into the chat. He will answer them in real time. Gentlemen, I love the baseball playoffs, how they've made them. It kind of all flows together. The 3-game series to start. So here's what we're talking about today. We're going to go dog of the day. Yesterday we did favorites. Today we're going to go dog. The Rangers, the Blue Jays, the Diamondbacks, and the Marlins are all dogs today. So I want to break every game down quickly. So let's start with the Rangers and the Rays. Maestro, where are we going?
Well, I don't think the Rays can play any worse. 4 errors. I'm on the Rays. The price is a little bit steep on that one. So I like the Rays today. I just think they're going to wake up and save their season.
All right. I liked how we did it yesterday because collectively we were pretty good on picking the 4 different games. So that's 1 for, you said the Rangers, right? Or the Rays?
Rays.
Rays. All right. So 1 for the Rays. Amags, what do you think about this first game?
Yeah, I would side with the Rays there as well. I think, look, when you put these teams in these, you kind of like back them into a corner type spots. The Rays are a stymied team. They'll definitely have something for the Rangers today.
Counselor.
Yeah, I'm going to lean towards underdogs here, kind of in general, not necessarily across the board, but I just really like the plus 135. I mean, Eovaldi, Eflin, to me, it's a little bit of 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. And again, the Rays likely bounce back, but don't forget these Rangers bats are legit. Like they could easily win this game. Plus 135 looks pretty good to me.
The Rays bats were absolutely dead yesterday. They did absolutely nothing, and I'm going to side with the Rangers. So as a show, we'll go 2 and 2. You make the decision at home for yourself because I also like the Rangers. And depending on what the run line is in the playoffs, I like betting run lines, even with a little bit more juice because there's a lot of close games in the playoffs. Game number 2, Blue Jays, a very slight dog. Yesterday, the Twins pitching was outstanding. So, Maestro, a very tiny dog today, but do you think the Blue Jays stay alive?
I do not. I think the Twins got the monkey off their back. They've got the rookie with the back-to-back homers to start the game. And Jose Barrios on the road has not been as good. And Sonny Gray is in unbelievable form right now. So I think the Twins close it out.
All right, 1 for the Twins. Amags, what about you?
Yeah, I'll go to the other side. I think, once again, kind of back a team into a corner. Twins are playing loose right now, but outside of Royce Lewis yesterday, that lineup did not do much. So if he doesn't hit 2 homers for them again today, what does the offense look like? I'll side with the Blue Jays here.
That's a very good point, Counselor.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Blue Jays. This one is close. I do like the pitching matchup for the Twins, but I'm 24 hours removed from calling the Twins fraudulent. So, I mean, it's very hard for me to all of a sudden be like, I love the Twins today. So I'm going to listen, I've rolled with Jose Barrios plenty this season. It's actually paid off for me pretty well. The Twins to win 2 playoff games in a row. I don't want to go back to trends, but the last time they won one, I believe, was 1991 when the Washington Commanders won the Super Bowl behind Mark Rippon. Give me the Blue Jays here.
My goodness, a Mark Rippon sighting on the early edge today. All right, so we're gonna go kind of a pick 'em, and then we're gonna go Blue Jays. So game number 3, Diamondbacks and the Brewers. This one we nailed yesterday, didn't we, guys? We said the Brewers bats were nothing, and that even if they jumped out to a quick lead, the Diamondbacks was the play. Well, what happened? 3-0. Corbin Burns showed why he has had a very rocky year, and the Brewers give up 6 straight. They lose game 1. So now backs against the wall. Maestro, what do you think? Very slight dog.
Yeah, this is a tough one for me. I'm going to lean with the favorite again, just because of how good Peralta has been and, Gallen on the road. So I'm going to lean with the Brewers, but I don't trust their bats. I mean, bases loaded, nobody out. They're playing with pressure as if they feel the pressure, whereas Arizona's playing with house money.
That is a great point. Evan Longoria, how about going back 15 years with that defense yesterday? Amags, your thoughts on D-backs Brewers?
Look, the D-backs are playing loose right now. I like this team. It's a young team. We saw a few home runs yesterday from them. I like Peralta, but I'm not sure how much I can trust him. That last start of the season was terrible. I think that when you put him in this position, a lot of pressure, another team on the other side playing loose. Even Devin Williams for the Brewers yesterday, terrible. He had to be bailed out in the top of the 9th inning. That was a 4-3 game going into the top of the 9th, and he made it a 6-3 game. So that's your closer, your best reliever. I don't know if I can side with that. You're getting plus money on the other side. Give me the D-backs.
I do not trust him at all. I'm fully behind everything Amags just said. Counselor.
Peralta's been really good, and frankly, lately he's been better than Zach Gallen. But this is one of those where I kind of want to take a ride down narrative street just a little bit. Like, I probably shouldn't have picked on Zach Wheeler yesterday, given his playoff track record and what the Phillies can do in the playoffs. And in this case, I don't know that I want to pick on, of all pitchers, a guy that I have supported for so long, Zach Gallen. So I'm just going to go, even though Zach Gallen admittedly has been shaky over his last, 6 or 7 starts, I'm taking Zach Gallen here and the plus money. Give me another dog.
But he's got guts. He's got guts. This guy's an absolute stud. And you're going to give me Zach Gallen and the pressure of having to win? I'm taking the Diamondbacks too. So as a show, we are all over the Diamondbacks today officially. Last game, and Joe, I see you. We're not leaving Martin W. Green out. He gets his own dog of the day. Just be patient. Just be patient. All right. Miami Marlins. Yesterday, were never really, it was just one of those Phillies, good pitching. They get the hitting when they needed to. We get that 4th run to cash that ticket. It was just a workmanlike type performance for the Phillies yesterday. So, Maestro, do they close it out today?
They probably close it out, but minus 160, that is too much in my mind to lay with Aaron Nola. He's not been as good this season as against the Marlins. 0-2, 6.75 ERA, 5 homers, and only 16 innings allowed. So their lineup, we know it's pretty weak. It's pretty inconsistent, but they have hit Nola very hard. And Braxton Garrett on the other side, he's been better on the road than at home. So to me, 160, way too much.
Way too much for the Maestro. What about you, Amags?
Yeah, I would agree. It's a tough price to lay with the favorite there. Once again, they're not the team with all the pressure on them, so they have a little bit of leeway. If Nola's not great, gives up maybe 2 runs or down 2-0, he might be given a little bit more leash to try to save some of the bullpen. I think some other similar things could happen in the other games. So I would side with the Marlins, but I'm a little bit like stay off this game in terms of betting aside.
All right, Counselor.
Yeah, so, you'll see this later in the show. I don't want to pay the minus 160, minus 165 either, but I don't really trust the Marlins here. So for me, I want to find a creative way to bet the Phillies, whether it be run line or first 5 run line. The way the Phillies played Luzardo was okay. He was a little erratic, but I was scared of the Phillies bats every time they were up. They just seemed kind of locked in at home. And I don't really trust Braxton Garrett at all, even though he's been pretty good lately. So Nola, hard to trust, but I do trust the Phillies bats. So I'm going to find a way to take the Phillies here. Maybe run line.
We'll figure out a way. There's always different ways to bet a game. And I know what I've said. And if you're going to insult me in the chat, at least do it correctly. Sup, John says, Coach is the squarest dude ever. Yeah, let's just take the teams that won yesterday. Shaking my head. When did I ever say that? Did I ever say that? No, I never. Yeah, go ahead, Counselor.
Well, it wouldn't be square to take the teams who won yesterday. If anything, the square play would be to take the favorites who need to bounce back. Like that, I think the definition of square is just misplaced there. So I don't even know what he's talking about.
I think the whole text is misplaced. Sup, John? That's your one. That's it. Now, we've made the guru sit there long enough, but I'm going to make him sit there just a little bit longer because, it's not only a busy day here, but every single day it is a busy day here.
Well, you need the sports news anywhere?
We've got breaking news to bring you.
Then get your sports anytime you want them. Big trade news overnight to discuss.
Because we know you need sports all the time.
A lot of movement in the rankings this week.
A legend adds to their legacy.
We're bringing you that breaking news right here on HQ.
CBS Sports HQ, anywhere, anytime, all the time.
All right. Now, Martin W. Green, the guru, just south of London, England. These are your dogs of the day. AC Milan taking on Dortmund. Dortmund is as inconsistent as any team in Bundesliga this year. Then you got PSG. They've got an absolute stud leading their team against Newcastle, who's been playing good lately. And then also Barcelona at Porto at plus 300. Educate me, guru.
Okay, so yeah, the first game looks really difficult to call because it's a real clash of styles between AC Milan, who are pretty solid defensively, and like you said, inconsistent Borussia Dortmund team who are very good going forwards but weak at the back. Is probably an opportunity for AC Milan to pick up an away win there if they can stay compact and they can unleash Rafael Leao and that man pictured there, Christian Pulisic. Not sure I like plus 188 though on that. I'd probably be looking at goals markets on that game instead. That plus 190 really stands out on PSG away at Newcastle. I think you can get pretty good value there. Newcastle have kept 5 clean sheets in a row. They're looking very solid right now, but this is PSG after all. They have a superstar up front in Kylian Mbappe, very experienced in the Champions League and lots of high quality players. So yeah, of the three, that one really stands out and looks attractive to me, plus 190 on PSG. Do like both teams to score in that game as well. I actually think Barcelona can get the better of Porto in that game. They weren't very good in the Champions League group stage last season, but Porto lost 1-0 to Benfica in their last game, played with 10 men for quite a lot of it. I think Barcelona have enough attacking quality to open them up in Porto. So, yeah, I'd be looking at Barcelona to win that one. Of the 3 underdogs, I have to go with PSG.
Where else are you going to get that kind of information on all 3 games? We were looking for one. So I'll ask you one very simple question. Do you want to do the work? I didn't think so. But I know what I do want to do. I want to sign up as many new people as possible at BetMGM. So, new BetMGM customers can sign up today and get $200 in bonus bets. Just place your first wager of at least $10, and you'll receive $200 instantly in bonus bets, regardless of your wager's outcome, with bonus code EDGE200. That's bonus code EDGE200. Our picks are so good today, I do not want to interrupt them. So, we're going to do it right now so we can rip through all 5. Yes, I said 5 handicappers today. But elsewhere at CBS, oh, everybody's working. About 3 big games just on CBS Sports Network on Saturday. That's not even CBS. Amazing. Amazing. 7 days a week, 24/7. So, gentlemen, it is that time of the day. We have played around long enough. Now, Amags, we talk about baseball players all the time. Can they handle the playoff pressure? How are they going to handle it? How are they going to move? You're our playoff rookie, so you have to be in the leadoff position. What do you got, big boy?
All right, Coach. Well, I'll take the leadoff spot, and hopefully I can, just get on base for us and get us started in a good fashion here. And with the first play, I did think that there's a little bit of value on one of the pitchers today. Look, I spoke about it on my Twitter yesterday. When you bet these props in the playoffs for pitchers, especially strikeouts or outs, it's really tough. You can have somebody pulled very quickly. So I think with Berríos, this number should be at 15.5 outs. I'm going to take Jose Berríos over 14.5. I got it at minus 135 on BetMGM. And like I said, I think there's a little value because I have it at 15.5, slightly projecting over that. And I think he could actually have a nice game. He tore through the Yankees lineup for the first 3 innings in his final start of the year. I watched that game. I actually didn't think he pitched poorly at all. Aaron Judge, he's had success against him previously. He put one out of the park. It is what it is. Rios wasn't that bad. And I think when you look at the rest of his body of work this season, he's got real deep, 6th, 7th innings sometimes. He's pitched over this 14.5 regularly, or at least gone 90 pitches. So the work has been there. I think that at minus 135, we're getting in under the 5 full innings here. He's got to complete 5 innings to cash it. I like where the spot is at, especially after the bullpen usage yesterday. And then I'm going to give you an NFL play. Go NFL Amags, right? Ooh. I'm going to go to the Thursday night game, and I'm going to back Washington Commanders quarterback Sam Howell over 12.5 rushing yards. Something I found pretty interesting about Howell is that, look, off the 6 rushing attempts last week, he had 40 rushing yards. But when you look at the long rush for each of the last 3 games here, it's been at least 11 yards or more. So if he can even just have one long rush, scramble, and get out and make something happen in this game, look, it's prime time. He knows that. I think he can make a play with his legs. We've seen him do it before, and they were pretty successful in that game using him on those 6 rushes. So I wouldn't even doubt if there's some design rushes for him. I think 12.5 is a bit low. I think you're getting it here at a good price, minus 135. So those 2 bets will kick it off, and check my Twitter. I will have a few other plays for the MLB game, some like half unit fun stuff for us.
I love the energy today. Absolutely love your energy today. And I am shocked that the Sam Howell play is that low. I'm with you. That should be at least 18 or 19. This guy runs. He's really, really into the game. And the Bears defense is terrible. Absolutely terrible. I love that play for Thursday night. You say, Coach, why would you give out an NFL play today? This is called the early edge. We try to beat the number. It could move. They move all the time. By the way, Dominic says, Coach, can you get BetMGM to do a deal for existing members? Dominic, don't you even worry about it. We're talking to them about that right now, but we can't do multiple promotions at the same time. But don't you worry. This is a long partnership, so we're just getting started. All right, speaking of just getting started, the Phillies really got started well last night. An early run, and they always played from the lead. Sia, Counselor of Cash, what do you think the Phillies are going to do today?
Yeah, I think the Phillies are in to close the series today. I mean, we've got Braxton Garrett versus Aaron Nola. And listen, Braxton Garrett, first of all, these 2 teams have faced each other against these pitchers, and neither pitcher has been particularly successful against the bats of the other team. But I got to admit, Braxton Garrett has been pitching well. If you look at the box scores, Braxton Garrett's been good, and Aaron Nola's, he's been a little bit shaky. But really here, if you look at, the ERAs and you look at the hits and runs, like that's one thing. But if you look at the expected ERAs and the hard hit rates, and especially how the Phillies are hitting lefties as of late, this all kind of sides with the Phillies here. So what I'm doing is something a little unorthodox. You guys know I don't usually do the first 5 run line minus a half. This is only the second time I'm doing it all season. I got to be honest, though, the way baseball has been going, the lines have adjusted from our first 5 success in the first 2/3 first half of the season. So I got to change it up a little bit so I can give you guys a good number that you're actually comfortable betting. I do think the Phillies, listen, I do think Aaron Nola can give up a run here or there, but I think the Phillies are going to jump all over Braxton Garrett. So I suspect this half a run is not going to come into play. Give me the Phillies first 5 minus a half at minus 114. And oh, by the way, shout out to the chat. After that squares comment, they have been debating the merits of different shapes this entire time, and it's hilarious. Good job, chat.
We have the best chat in the business. Just the best chat in the business. You come here to discuss, to have a good time, feel like you're a part of something. That's what the early edge is all about. Not being negative and creating narratives of your own. Because Narrative Street is Counselor Street, not your street.
Yes.
It's Counselor Street.
It's private.
By the way, the chat just gave me an idea for a new pick for you, Counselor. I'll tell you after the show. But they gave me a good idea. Now, somebody in the chat says 5 cappers. Is there somebody joining the show late that we don't know about? Oh, Matthew, the disrespect.
Jeez.
The disrespect. It is time to cash with the coach. And for those of you not paying attention, like Matthew, today starts the first of 50 straight days. 50, 5-0, with a football game, whether it's college football or NFL football. 50 straight days. And we'll have a pick on every single one of them. And today, 2. college football. First one, Middle Tennessee State. If you look at the records, you're like, Coach, what are you doing? They're 1-4 against 4-1. But you go a little bit deeper. Middle Tennessee State has played a much tougher schedule. They played Missouri, almost beat them. So I'm taking Middle Tennessee State tonight, but I'm buying the half a point down to 2.5. I got this at BetMGM, so I'm going to play minus 130, but I think that half a point in a tough game could really pay off. Then my second game, FIU New Mexico State. This is kind of like 2 and 2 equals 6. What I mean by this is two bad teams should not equal an over, but I think it will tonight because Liberty scored 38 against FIU just a week ago. New Mexico State, they've had games of 71, 79, 50 against Liberty, all over the number of 48.5. So those are my first two plays of college football weekdays. Every single day we'll have a pick right here on the show. Now, speaking of college football, we have you covered every single Wednesday. Later today, 3 p.m. Eastern time, all the odds powered by BetMGM. Me, AB, EC, Chip Patterson will break down everything week 6 in college football, including a full breakdown of the 5 biggest games of the week, according to us. All right. 3 down, 2 superstars left to go. And at CBS, the Champions League is so important to us. And Martin W. Green, I know it's important to you. What do we got?
It is important to me, despite Arsenal's horrendous defeat yesterday. But yeah, I'm going to start in Glasgow, where Celtic are top of the Scottish Premier League table after picking up 6 wins and a draw from 7 games thus far. However, the Hoops suffered a 2-0 defeat to Feyenoord in their Champions League opener, and I feel like they could struggle again when they take on Lazio today. They're unaccustomed to facing the sort of elite opposition that you get in the Champions League because their domestic league is so weak by comparison, and they often underwhelm when they play in European competitions. Lazio have made a poor start to the season after they lost their key midfielder Milinkovic-Savic in the summer, but they finished second in Serie A last season. I think they should still have enough attacking quality to get the better of Celtic, with Ciro Immobile leading the charge. So I'm going Lazio draw no bet at minus 120. So I get paid out if they win and I get my money back if it's a draw. And then moving slightly further south to Newcastle, where the Magpies are playing against Paris Saint-Germain. I'm looking at Kylian Mbappe to score. He has 8 goals in 7 games for PSG so far this season, cementing his status as one of the best strikers in world soccer. He has drawn a blank in his last 2 matches, but he rarely goes 3 games without a goal, and I think he could find the back of the net against Newcastle today. The Magpies do have a solid defence, as I said earlier, 5 consecutive clean sheets now, but their fullbacks aren't particularly quick. They've got Trippier and Dan Burn, who are quite cumbersome, and they're going to come up against Mbappe and Dembele, which is a bit of a mismatch. I think Mbappe could have a lot of joy down that left flank, so odds of plus 145 on him to score any time look very attractive when you consider that he has 40 goals in 61 Champions League games. So that's my top player of the day.
Jason says, gaining the green on the green. Maybe a new little segment for the guru.
Yeah.
I like it. Oh, so much incredible information, whether it's Champion League, college football, baseball, NFL. We have you covered top to bottom, and all of you in the chat are appreciating that. So thank you very much. Now, grab your paper. Grab your pencil. Here. I'm sorry, Maestro. You're in the clouds. You're in the clouds. I had to message. Look at Counselor. I know how much. As soon as this show is over, the Maestro's ready to get out of the clouds. So, Larry, of course, the floor is yours.
All right. I got 2 plays for today. One for today, one for tomorrow. Starting with the Minnesota Twins. I think they get it done after ending that 18-game postseason drought. And I was on the Blue Jays yesterday, and they just cannot come through with runners in scoring position. Now they got to face Sonny Gray, 1.54 ERA over his last 7 starts. And Jose Barrios has been solid, very familiar with that stadium, obviously. But against left-handed hitters, the OPS allowed is 774. The Twins will have 4, maybe 5 of those in the lineup tonight. So I'll back the Twins to close this mini series out. And then tomorrow night, DJ Moore, you trade the number 1 overall pick for DJ Moore. And then in the first game of the season, the Bears only target him twice. That was absurd. 22 targets the last 3 games, 2 of those games over 100 yards, a huge breakout last week. And now you're facing a Commanders defense that's given up 33 plus points in 3 straight games. I like both offenses in this matchup, but I especially like DJ Moore, who's going to be the #1 guy the rest of the year. This could be garbage time or it could be a competitive game. Either way, I think he gets at least 50 receiving yards.
Absolutely. I think it's going to be a low-key fun game to watch. I really, really do. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. Thursday Night Football, of course, primetime early edge at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We count down to every single primetime game. Now, I'll just mess. You guys know I love to mess. Grab your paper. Grab your pencil. Here's the recap, courtesy of the Snake. Always on the 1s and the 2s. First 5, Sia, all over the Phillies tonight. Let's lay that half a run, bring that number down just a little bit to -114. Then the Guru, all over Lazio, draw no bet, -120. And then Kylian Mbappe, anytime goal scorer. All he's got to do is find the back of the net, and he usually does it every single game. That's coming back at +145. Then the Maestro, one play from Thursday Night Football. DJ Moore, over 49.5 receiving yards, -115. And the Twins on the money line, -130. Then Amags, playoff debut, and I think he's going to come out with an absolute banger today. Jose Berrios, over 14.5 outs, -135. We can hit both his and Maestro's play, no issues. Sam Howell, over 12.5 rushing yards, -135 for the Commanders, which I think is going to be a wide open game this Thursday. And I think I misspoke, but I think I got back on the right track. Middle Tennessee State, -2.5, -130. And then Florida International, New Mexico State, -115. Both of those games are tonight. There will be weekday games every single week all the way till November 22nd. It's going to be an amazing run of 50 straight days. Real quick, I need my 5-shot. We've got one more little added bonus for you because last week we cashed so many tickets at the Ryder Cup. Counselor, real quick, any chance I can get some Sanderson Farms golf picks from you this week? Is that possible?
100%. I mean, one of the reasons I didn't have a horrific weekend last weekend, because I did miss my NFL picks, was because of the early wedge and because of hitting so many of the plays that you hit, Coach, as well. Long story short, I'm going to have a Sanderson Farms pick for this show tomorrow. It won't tee off until after the show, so we have plenty of time. And I'm also going to tweet out some first-round leaders. Listen, it's football season. We can't do our regular content. That doesn't mean we're not going to have picks, so stay tuned.
Boom. Hashtag educate and entertain, always working. Hashtag the crew. Hashtag knowledge is power. Enough hashtags. Now, I love this group. I love this group so much. All right. It's time to have a good day. It's time to have a busy day. It's time to pay it forward. It's time to be kind to one another. All right. So with all that being said, all that knowledge, there's only one thing left to do. And I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window. For my entire crew, Lobo, Guru, Counselor, Maestro, and our rookie who's playing like a veteran, Amags. And never forget about Snake, always on the 1s and the 2s, making this show look like $1 million. I am simply the coach trying to keep this train on said track. We grind for you every day so we can win with you. It's truly what we're all about right here at the Early Edge. Good luck.